fatherhood, movies, rants, ridiculous news, and everything else that makes you ask, what the hell is going on? From stand-up comedian Chris Kidder, this is Kidder, comedy without a filter. Life's already ridiculous. You might as well laugh at it.
Welcome to episode 3 of Kidder, comedy without a filter. Why does getting out of a chair after 40 always require sound effects? I think right around the age of 40, I want to say it was right around the age of 40 is when I started grunting. Do you guys grunt when you get out of your chair? When you get out of bed? Do you grunt anytime you make any vertical moves? You move upwards stairs, getting out of a chair, getting out of bed, getting off the toilet even. Just usually that's the sound you make on the toilet, but I make the sound when I'm getting off the toilet. Just I grunt. And I got this belly now, and it pushes into my guts and my diaphragm. And so now when I tie my shoe, I feel like I have to hold my breath. Do you hold your breath when you tie your shoes? Just let me tie my shoe. I do. You know, my kids and my wife started mocking me. Like my wife, when I start tying my shoe, my wife would be like, and I'm like, stop it! Stop making fun of me! I'm trying to tie my shoe. I started making this sound when I get up off the couch, when I get off the recliner. Like children, my kids, they get up like gravity doesn't exist. You know, they just levitate out of their chairs. They just jump up like they're Michael Jordan. Like gravity isn't pushing down on their body. I feel like everybody, including gravity, like everybody's pushing down on my body. And you can see my jowls on my face. You can see my breasts drooping. And it's all pushing down into my feet. So now when I get up, I'm like, when I get up, like you get out of this chair, it doesn't have to be a lot, but it's something. Do you grunt when you get up? I don't know about you. I do it all the time. I'm now extremely self-conscious of it. Now when I'm around people, I'm out at Toastmasters, I'm out at a comedy club performing, and they're about to call my name, and I'm in the green room, and they're like, all right, Kidder, you're next. You want to get up? Like, you're on deck. Come on, let's get you out there. I'm like, all right, guys. All right, dab me up, dab me up, dab me up. It's so stupid. All right. Thank you for joining us today. Episode 3 of Kidder, comedy without a filter. Filter meaning I can swear if I want to. I can talk about whatever I want to, because this is a place where we can rant about things. We can rant. We can talk negative. We can be positive too. It's okay to be positive. I think what we're lacking in life today is more respect and positivity from people. There was this thing, John Krasinski, I think is his name, during COVID. Everyone was stuck at home, and he started this thing called Positive News. I think that's what it was just called, Positive News. And every week, he was inspired by his wife and his children. Let's talk about positivity. Let's put that out into the world. Let's put positive, because anytime you turn it to the news, radio, TV, internet, it does not matter. Everything is coming from a negative POV. And then you go down to the comments, and everyone is pinning each other. Like, everyone's pinned up against each other. Like, oh, I feel this way. Well, no, you're wrong, because I feel this way. The earth is flat. The earth is round. It does not matter. It's so negative. So John Krasinski had this thing, Positive News. And it was just all this beautiful stuff around the world. And then COVID ended, and boom. I couldn't snap. Let me look at my finger. I still can't snap, whatever. But I feel like when COVID was over and Krasinski and everyone else came out of their caves, bye-bye to the positive news. He's too busy for it. I think he did it for a while. It like disappeared. It got buried below all the negative crap that's out there. Anyways, we can talk about positive stuff too. We could talk, and we can be negative here. This is a place where I get to just talk. And you're more than welcome to talk. I know it's a one-person podcast, but hit me up in the comments. Hit me up on an email. Shoot me some information. Add stuff to the bucket for us to talk about. Let's just have fun, folks. All right, are we ready? We're going to go into our first segment, the Weekly Rant. The Weekly Rant. I want to talk about this. Why, oh why, does everyone have to tip? And why, oh why, does everyone expect a tip? Look, this last week, I posted my stuff and a bunch of shorts on YouTube, and I was ranting about Roombas and smart devices in the home, and someone came at me and said I was poor. I'm not poor. By no means am I poor or anywhere near that income threshold, which would be considered low income or poor, if you will. But that's why we have an open forum here. You're more than welcome to come at me with anything, and you can come at me about this. Tipping. Why does everyone expect me to tip them? Why? Like, everywhere. Starbucks. Okay, I have this bad habit. My wife and I spend about $600 a month at Starbucks. I go in there. I feel obligated to tip. I treat Starbucks like a bar, right? Like, it's usually $1 a drink. If I go into your bar and you're my bartender and you make me a drink and the drink's $10, $11 is getting thrown across the bar. You get $1 with your drink. To me, that has been a standard for the last 20 years. When I drink, $1 for every drink. If I drink 10 drinks, $10 is going in your pocket. Some people might think that's not enough. Some people might be like, well, I tip at the end of the night after I get my 5 drinks. Okay, good for you. Again, I feel like it's a case-by-case thing. But I bring this up because I treat the barista like a bartender. You make me a drink, I give you $1. I go back a second time in the day to get another coffee. You make me a coffee, I give you $1. That's how it goes. You're making my drink, you get $1. Now, I'm not saying you have to do that. I know people who go to Starbucks and they don't tip. They're like, well, coffee's already expensive. They're literally pouring my coffee in a cup and some steamed milk. That doesn't deserve a tip. To each their own. But why do you got to tip everywhere? Why? First off, let's talk about Korean barbecue, K-barbecue. Why do you got to tip at gay barbecue? I think that came out as gay barbecue. K-barbecue. Why at K-barbecue do I have to tip? I'm cooking my own food. And okay, maybe you tip, but my standard is for a good restaurant, and this is just me, at a good restaurant with good service, good food, I will tip 20%. The tax in Southern California, I keep it simple. The tax in Southern California is about 10%. I think it's just over 10%, 10.25%, whatever. And I just double it. If I spend $100 and it says $110 because the tip was 10 or the tax was $10, I double it. So I end up, instead of 110, I'm spending 130 because I'm like, well, $10 tip or $10 tax. $10 tax, I double it because that's 10%, 20%. So I'm tipping $20 on top of the 110. That's what I do. 20%. If I go to a K-barbecue, they should start there. When they show you the machine and it shows you a lot of places. The standard is 10%, or I'm sorry, a lot of places are 20%, 22%, and 25%. It's usually the numbers you'll see are 10. Why do I keep saying 10? Because the tax, because I got that in my head now, the tax. But a lot of places will say 20, 22, and 25, or 20, 22, and 24. They're usually 2% increments. If I go to 25%, it has to be a high-end place. The service just blew me away and the food was perfection. Then maybe, and I feel like spending money that night, I'm spending money on my girl, I'm having a good, yeah, we might go 25%, but why on earth would I tip you 20% at a K-barbecue place? Absolutely not. This is where you hit the custom button. This is where you instead of 20%, you drop down to 10%. Because I did most of the work. Okay, 10%, yeah, you got someone washing dishes. Why do I got to tip the dishwasher? I have no idea. But I'm like, all right, someone still had to carry the raw meat to my table. And a lot of them don't even do that now. You go to a K-barbecue place, a lot of them just roll a cart over. Here's some food for you. The next table, here's some food for you. You're not even carrying it anymore. Ugh. And you know what? I feel like I talked about the self-checkout. I feel like I need a 10% discount. If you go to self-checkout at Costco, self-checkout at Pavilions, self-checkout anywhere, you should get a 10% discount. That's what you should get because you're doing the work. You are literally saving that company money. All right. That's it. That's it with that rant. All right. That's the weekly rant. The weekly rant. Now I want to go into our dad minute. Our dad minute. I have to pose this question. And this is for my parents out there. Now, if you're not a parent, take note. Because this is something you will face if you decide to have kids. Or you were a kid at a certain point and maybe you can relate to some of this. But if you're a parent out there, how does Chris Kidder, how do I get my kids to take shorter showers? Shorter showers? How? How do I get my kids to turn the water off? Just save me 10 minutes, please. Save me 10 minutes. If you can save me 10 minutes, I'm all ears, folks. How did you get your kids to take shorter showers? My daughter, she is 19 and she has big curly hair. And when she's in the shower for an hour, she's like, well, it's my hair and I'm putting in different products and I got to work it in. I got to massage it in and blah, 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 blah. Okay, I can kind of understand that. My son, he's 12, going on 13. And he takes long showers, and we can all guess why. How do I get him to take shorter showers? Like, I have my like my water heater. I don't have a tank. I have a tankless water heater. And so there's a digital thing going through my house into my kitchen, and it's in one of my cabinets. I can go in there and turn the hot water off. Guys, I tried this. If you're going to come at me and be like, oh, just turn the hot water off. That doesn't work. My son recently, I told him, I was like, bro, you get 10 minutes. You get 10 minutes. Get in, scrub your body, and get the hell out. He's like, okay. We get to 15 minutes. I gave him 5 additional minutes. He's still going. So I was like, all right, fine. I go over to the thermostat, and I turn the hot water off. Just turn it off, just hit a couple buttons, boom, off. And I'm not kidding. It took about maybe 30 to 45 seconds. All of a sudden, you could hear his feet stomping. You could hear him moving. You could tell the cold water shook his body. It's just boom, 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 boom. You hear him moving around in there. And then he keeps going. Now the kid is just taking a cold shower. That's all he's doing. Taking a cold shower at this point. He doesn't care. I feel like he's doing it on purpose. I feel like he's doing it to make me mad. I don't know. But how do you get a kid, short of busting in the bathroom door and grabbing him by the arm and pulling him out and throwing a towel on them and be like, all right, you're done. How do you get your kid to take a shorter shower? Or is this just a problem we all, as parents, have to deal with? We just have to deal for 4 or 5 years while they're in those high school, middle school, high school, teenage years, and they want to take long showers. That's just something we have to deal with until they move out. Is that something we just have to deal with? Is it? I mean, granted, I remember as a teenager, I took some long showers, as we do. But if I took a shower like this every night, first off, I feel like I got to go back to a tank. Like a hot water tank, because then the hot water is limited. Then my daughter will know what it's like when the cold water kicks in. So she knows, well, I'm massaging the product into my hair, but I might want to massage it a little faster. Or while I'm massaging the product in my hair and I'm just letting the hot water hit my butt, because I don't want it hitting my hair while I do this, turn the water off. Turn the water off for 5 minutes. Stand there in the shower naked and just massage the product in your hair. You don't need the water running, hitting your legs while you massage it into your hair. How did you do it, folks? Or did you not do it? I want to know. Drop a comment. I want to know. And if you're listening to the podcast on Spotify or whatever, hit me up on Instagram, on YouTube, and let me know. I need to know. I need to know. All right, moving on. Oh, that's my dad minute. I want to do our next segment. What were they thinking? I want to talk about something bad, something good. What were they thinking when you came up with this idea? When you came up with this product? When you came up with this thing or this action? What were you thinking? And who came up with it? The first thing I want to talk about that drives me bonkers, drives me freaking mad, are decorative pillows on your bed. Decorative pillows It's like sweaty in here. I'm sorry. Like a side note, it's a little warm in my studio right now. I'm like, it's warm. But who came up with decorative pillows? Like, I can understand on your couch, you have a little decorative pillow in the corner, maybe two, like one in each corner. It looks nice, whatever. Maybe a decorative pillow and a throw on a recliner that rarely gets sat on, right? Like, I can understand that. But why in God's name do we have to have 40 pillows on top of the bed? Why? Where does this derive from? What woman came up with it? I know it's not a man. Well, you know what? No, I take that back. I want to take this back. Maybe it was a man who developed it for different reasons. One, men tend to break their bodies doing construction, working out in the fields, farming, and someone's back was hurting and said, baby, can you just get some extra pillows and prop them under my knees while I'm hurting? And then the next day, George is like, baby, my back hurts, my lower back hurts. Can you help with some pillows? Can you prop my back up? And then put like 2 pillows under my knees. You know those skinny pillows on the couch? Just put them under my knees. Oh, that feels so much better. And then the next day, it's day 3, and Betty gets out of bed, and George, he's out in the field working the fields, and she's like, you know what? This dumbass is gonna ask me to run around the house collecting pillows again, and have me prop up his knees and prop up his back because he didn't have the foresight to go grab the pillows, collect the pillows around the house and put them in the bed before his dumb ass crawled in bed. And now I got to go do it. So Betty's like, you know what? Screw this dude. I'm leaving the pillows here on the bed. But I got to make the bed because that's how I am. I like a tidy house, clean house. Betty likes her house all nice and neat. So what does she do? She makes the bed and she starts leaving the pillows at the head of the bed. And what used to be 2 pillows ended up being 4, ended up being 6. You know what? George needs an extra one behind his neck because his neck hurts tonight. Oh my God. Now I have 40 pillows on top of my freaking bed. Poor Betty. But you know what? Even though it was Betty's idea to leave them on the bed to take care of George, it was George who initiated it because the dumbass had a broken back and broken knees and broken neck and wanted pillows. I think that's how it all started. I don't know. Maybe there's actually some corporation out there with some dude running that corporation is like, you know what we need to do? We need to start decorating our beds with lots of pillows in the showroom. We're going to put pillows. Women pay for the kitchens. Women... Like women buy kitchens, women buy houses, women buy bedrooms. Why? Because they go in there with their men and they have the idea. They have, oh my God, that's beautiful. I want that. And then traditionally get their men to pay for it. Now women are more independent, buying their own shit. Good for them. But the idea is still there. Some CEO is like, all right, here's what we're going to do, fellow boardroom members. We're going to invest into our Pillow Co., our other public business, our little sister company. We're going to start buying up some shares. And then this next week, we're going to drop our fall showroom. And all the beds are going to have pumpkin like pillows on the beds. And they're going to look super cute. But we're going to put like 10 of them across in front of the pillows. And they're just going to look super cute. And they're going to be plush. So we want the nice smooth so they feel great. And women are going to want them. And all of a sudden, boom. Those pumpkin pillows turned into Christmas tree pillows, turned into firework pillows, turned into whatever. Like now there's different pillows for different seasons and I need 30 pillows. I need 40 pillows on my bed. Point is, I hate pillows. You know why? Because I don't use them. But you know what I have to do is on my side of the bed, I have to walk up and go whack and whack all the pillows off the bed so that I can crawl in it now. Because George had a broken back and broken knees and a broken neck. And Betty said, I'm going to get your pillows. And you know what? I don't just throw my pillows on the ground before I get in bed. You know what you got to do? You have to take the pillows, and go put them on the hope chest at the end of the bed, or you got to take the pillows and go put them in the closet, or go put them on the recliner, or put them on your little love couch that you have in your bedroom. You got to go put the pillows away neatly so they don't get all dirty and messy and everything, so that the next morning when you make your bed, you then now have to travel back and forth and get those steps in. Got to get those steps in. If you're not getting your steps in the morning by traversing across the room to move pillows back and forth and put them on your bed, then you're not living life. Pillows, dude, I hate them. Pillows. I'm bleeping myself. Pillows is all I'm saying. I don't want pillows on my bed. I just need one pillow. And sometimes I don't even want a pillow. I know, that sounds archaic. Something good that we love in the house. The air fryer, folks. Do you have an air fryer? You are not a chef without a air fryer. I'm kidding. Look, I cook a lot in my house, and I don't use the air fryer as often as maybe I should. But air fryers are genius. One, you're cutting out the oil. Okay, the oils can be pretty bad for you. But also, in the air fryer, one, gets your food crispy. Gets it nice and crispy. So if you want chicken nuggets, if you want to heat something up like a slice of pizza and you want it crispy, because if you put this stuff in the microwave, it's efficient, it's fast, 1 minute, 2 minutes, boom, you're eating hot food. But you're also eating hot mushy food. You're eating soft pizza, you're eating soft gummy nuggets. It's so gross. The air fryer is genius, and what I love about it is kids can operate an air fryer nice. You don't have to worry about a kid getting hot oil on themselves or having heart disease by the time they're 16 because they're deep frying food every night. The air fryer is amazing. Amazing. Do you have an air fryer in your house? I have one air fryer. It's not very big, but it's perfect for like heating up nuggets for the kids and stuff like that if they want to eat some chicken or something. It's great for like Porto's Bakery. You get those little potato balls. Porto's Bakery is this Cuban bakery we have here in Southern California, and started here in Glendale, California, but they've branched out to Burbank. They have one. I think they're opening one in downtown Disney. They have one down by Knott's Berry Farm. Whatever. If you're not from LA and you come to LA, they're always like, oh, you got to go to In-N-Out. Screw In-N-Out. Go to Porto's. Porto's is the place to go in SoCal. But you take a potato ball, or you take a ham croquette, or you take a chicken croquette, and after you've had them for a day or two and you pull them out of the fridge, you put them in the air fryer, and they get nice and crispy, and they heat all the way through. It's amazing. Air fryer's fantastic. Get an air fryer. You know what I want? I want a bigger one that has like dual zone, but we don't use it enough. So I don't know if that. I think a dual zone air fryer is for like someone who's single, who doesn't want to make a big meal. They just want to crisp up their chicken breast and one side, and on the other side they're gonna heat up some vegetables without making them all gooey, like all soft. Like no one likes soft broccoli. Ugh. Soft Brussels sprouts. Ugh. No. Got to get the dual zone air fryer. My kitchen, I like my kitchen, but I feel like taking a dual zone air fryer, it's just going to take up too much space. So I'll stick with the one zone for now. And then also a dehydrator. Guys, I just got turned on to a dehydrator. I haven't bought mine yet. I found one on Amazon for $200, a dehydrator. Something that I would never even think about. But I am a carnivore. I am doing the carnivore diet. Not forever. Eventually, I'll switch to the Mediterranean diet. But I'm doing the carnivore diet. And if you don't know what the carnivore diet, it's where we eat the children of vegans. Yeah, no, you're going to hate that. I know some people hate that joke. Some people love it. What we do is we eat meat and meat product, right? So I'll eat meat. I'll eat cheese. Stuff that sugar hasn't been added to, I'll eat. That's animal product. I was at work recently. I was on this film set, and one of my old friends I haven't seen in years was there, and he was cooking jerky in his dehydrator on the back of his truck. He had solar panels set up. This dude is like living like a nomad life. But he got this dehydrator for $200. I saw it. He said he's had it for a few years now. It works fantastic. I look it up. He said he got it for $190. I looked it up. It's $200. $10 increase since he bought it a few years ago. I don't care. $200. I'm like, I'm buying this. Guys, the best jerky I've ever had in my life. He's cutting stuff down to an 1/8 inch and seasoning it with Moroccan spice. And it was the best addictive jerky I've ever had. I could not stop eating it, and he had bags of it. And I just kept going back, eating it all day. I could not get enough of it. And then what I did that night, I got home from work. I busted out my jerky that I bought from the store, and I tasted it, and I was like, this is dog shit. This is horrible. It was Tillamook, the brand Tillamook cheese, whatever. They make jerky as well. It was Tillamook jerky, which normally is my go-to jerky. It tasted so processed. It tasted chemically. It was nowhere near the level. Like his jerky, a 10. Tillamook it's like maybe a 6. And the only reason why I'm giving it a 6 is there's a lot of jerky out there that's like 3 or 4. Like it's just crap. Dehydrator and air fryer, folks. Get them if you don't have them. Oh my God. All right, moving on. We are in it. We're going to Kidder Recommends. Kidder Recommends. This is where I recommend products, recommend movies. I like to talk about movies and TV shows a lot. Movies and television shows a lot because I am a consumer of the 35 mil. I'm a consumer of the IMAX 70 mil. I'm a consumer of Apple TV, Netflix, Disney Plus. It doesn't matter. I love movies. And I love TV shows, and I got in the film industry because of this. Because before we get into what I'm recommending, oh my God. I've been working in the film industry for 23 years. 23 years. I've worked as a casting director. I've worked as a grip for a lot of that time. I've been an electrician. I've directed my own products. I've directed my own films. I have written my own stuff. Like, I am in the film industry because I love movies and I love television. I love telling stories. I tell stories on stage as a comedian. I'm all about it. And when I work on set, it's nails on a chalkboard. There are so many people in this industry who hate TV, who hates movies. I don't know why they're so jaded, but I go on set. I'll be working with the guy and be like, oh, bro, did you catch the new show, blah, blah, blah? Like last week, I talked about Pluribus. I was on set this last week, and I talked to one dude. I was like, hey, man, did you catch that show Pluribus on Apple TV? He's like, nah, man. I don't watch TV. I don't watch movies, man. I don't have time for that. And I'm just like, bro, you work in this business. That's like a dentist who works on teeth all day who has no teeth. Like, they just pulled him out. They're like, I don't have time to go see a dentist. It's like a doctor who refuses to see a doctor because they don't believe in the science of doctorhood, right? Because they work on they work on patients all day, and they don't want to be a patient. They have no time for it. What? That makes no sense. Of course you have time for movies. Of course you have time for TV. You just have to allocate some time. I'm not telling you to go binge a show every night or go watch 3 movies every night. But everybody here has time to watch 1 movie a week or watch an episode or 2 a week of something. You do. I'm tired of people. I don't have time to work out at the gym. Yes, you do. Manage your time better, folks. All right, what do I recommend? Okay, remember, we got the couch scale. A 5 is my highest ranking. A 5 is put your phone down. Put your phone down and pay attention to whatever it is I'm recommending. And then there's definitely watch it. That's a 4. Definitely watch it, right? It's like definitely watch it. You pay attention, watch it. Maybe you get a ding and you're like, oh, let me hit pause. But then you unding your phone and unpause, and there you go. A 3, watch it while you're eating. You can eat something while you're watching this. If it gets a 3, the chomping's not going to be too distracting or distracting to the person next to you. 2, watch it while you're scrolling. You're death scrolling, Instagram, death scrolling, YouTube shorts. You're watching my YouTube shorts of this podcast, of my comedy, my stand-up comedy, while you're watching it, because it only got a 2. It's okay. 1, you know what? Like we said last week, go do your laundry, do something else. Find something better to do with your time than watch this. And honestly, if I give it a 1, did I watch the whole thing? If I do, I'm doing it for science. I'm doing it because I'm already invested. It's a rare that I'll watch something and give it a 1, because honestly, like, I don't critique so hard as the, oh my God, the angles and the way in which they use the camera and the way in which they use the lighting and the way in which they use the costume design. Like, shut up. Movies and television, turn your brain off and just enjoy. Disconnect from reality for an hour. Disconnect from reality for 2 hours and consume. Consume, folks. All right. The first one. I'm watching Silo season 3. I think I have one more episode, maybe 2 more episodes of season 3. Oh my God, they're on season 3. This is an Apple TV show, Silo. The woman who stars in this is the same woman who plays the mom in Dune. And again, horrible with names. Okay, forgive me. My next episode, episode 4, if I recommend a TV show or a movie and I talk about an actor, and I know I'm gonna talk about them, I'm gonna write their name here. I'm gonna put their name here so I have it, because I feel like it's a little disrespectful. This actress is been around for a while. She's a fantastic actor. She plays the mom in Dune, the movie Dune. Who has all the weird tattoos all over her face. This is starring her in the show Silo. This is such a good show. Just to give you an idea of what the show is, it's sometime far into the future, but not too far. And there's these silos that hold up to 10,000 people in each silo that are buried in the ground. And this is where humanity went to escape the apocalypse, essentially. It is drama, but it's action. There's some humor. It is fantastic. It's a dark, gloomy show. If you're expecting bubbly colors, you're not going to get it. They hit the post-apocalypse on the head with this one. But I cannot recommend the show enough. This is a 5. And I say 5 because you have to put your phone down. You have to pay attention. There's so much going on. You're following this woman, but there is side stories and side quests, if you will, happening on this show, and you have to pay attention because of the way they all tie back and forth. Like, there's so many callbacks on this show where they're closing story loops, story holes, right? They start a story. What I can't stand is a show like Lost, the old show Lost. If you remember this, I think it was on NBC or ABC. This was early 2000s. They did 6 seasons of this show. By season 3, people were getting mad because I think after season 3, they said there was over 150 storylines that had begun that weren't closed. They just kept opening up more and more storyline. The viewers got mad, and then the network granted them 3 seasons. Like, they greenlit 3 seasons and said, you have 3 seasons to wrap this show up. And they did such a piss poor job at wrapping that show up. And in the end, I think they still had like over 80 like storylines that were never concluded. So people were just kind of left hanging, like, well, what happened to this actor? And what happened to this person? And what happened when they were on the island over here? Like, there was so much of that going on. Like, that show, I'd give it a 2. And the only reason why I would get a 2 is the last 3 seasons were dog shit. And the first 3 seasons were epic. Cannot get enough of. I feel like they changed the writers, like Game of Thrones, right? What's his name? George Martin, George G. Martin, or whatever his name is, the guy who wrote Game of Thrones, or was writing the books, started writing the show, and then they got different writers to finish it, and that's why it got rushed, and that's why like the stories got messed up, and it just started falling apart at the end. But Game of Thrones was an epic show until the last 2 seasons. And then the season finale, or the show finale, was dog shit. Silo, 5. We're on season 3, and it gets a 5. Put your phone down, turn your phone off, and pay attention to this show. It is excellent. Go check it out. Hopefully, it stays in the 5 category until it concludes. With Silo, just so you know, because here's the problem. A lot of shows will go, and I feel like they keep trying to grind them out until people lose interest, and then they just cancel the show and there's no conclusion on the show. That has been very historical outcome on so many shows here in Hollywood. Silo, they're on season 3. They announced there's going to be one last season. They already got greenlit. So you're going to get 4 seasons when you watch this show. And they said the 4th season will come out summer of 2027. I highly recommend it. You're going to get 4. Hopefully we get a full story arc and conclusion at the end of season 4. All copacetic. All right. Something else I want to recommend. So family night. My family, if you don't know this about me, my family, my wife and I demanded Sundays be our family day. It's kind of sacred. Don't ask me to come hang out on Sunday. I mean, if you do, you need to do it way in advance, and it has to be super important. It has to be something that we're absolute, I can't miss it. If it's your 50th birthday, and you decide to have it on a Sunday night, which is a weird night to have a birthday, like, I'll be there because that's a huge milestone. But if you want me, come hang out and walk with you or around Costco so we can catch up on a Sunday after, no, it's not going to happen. Da-da-da-da. Sundays are sacred. So usually Sundays, my wife and I run errands. We'll do some stuff with the kids. I usually cook a nice meal for the family. I cook a nice meal on Sunday evenings. If we want to go out to a really nice dinner, we'll make it on a Sunday evening. But then we conclude the evening usually by taking the kids to get ice cream. We will either one of two things. We'll watch a movie, a family-oriented movie, or we'll play a game. We'll do a board game, card game, whatever. And we'll sit around for a few hours and just laugh our butts off. Usually they're laughing at me. They call me Fast Hands McGee. They think I cheat. I don't. I'm just really good. No, I'm just kidding. They do call me Fast Hands McGee. What I don't understand because my daughter and my son win more games. My wife wins a lot too. Don't ever play my wife in Yahtzee. All right. We decided this last week we're going to watch a family movie. And my daughter chose the movie. And we watched the movie Hoppers. This movie is so darn good. This is such a fun movie to watch with your kids. It's a little bit of a tearjerker. Hoppers, to me, when I heard the title, I was like, oh, it's a family movie. It's an animated movie. Okay, it's obviously about bunnies. It is not about bunnies, folks. It's about forest creatures and specifically kind of following some beavers. And it's called Hoppers because the gist of the movie, which you would see in the trailer, so I'm not ruining anything that the trailer wouldn't have ruined, is that these people, these scientists, can hop their mind into a little robotic animal and then they go out into the woods. It is so good. Now, I'll give this one a 4 because there's so many animated movies that I would give a 5. And this one is excellent. The animation's excellent. The storyline is excellent, but it's very basic. So that's why I say definitely watch it. But it's a basic, not a complex story. It's not like they didn't reinvent the wheel. They didn't try to be like crazy different than any other movie. Follows your basic, there's like 5 or 6 basic story types that are told repetitively in Hollywood, and this is one of them. But it is excellent. The characters are excellent. The voice actors are excellent. The animation is so good, and it's so funny. There's so much humor in this movie. You're going to laugh your butt off. But this one's definitely kid-friendly, family-friendly. If you're going out on a first date, you have a first date, and you know the guy. This is for you fellas. You want to warm those heartstrings of the girl you're dating. You know she's more of a sensitive type, and she likes the cute stuff. She likes the cute stuffed animals. She's artistic, and she likes all the cute artsy stuff. Then rent this movie. Stream this movie at home. If you're going to make her a meal, then stream this movie because it's adorable. It's super cute. That's a recommendation for the dudes. If women, hey man, if you want to see if the guy is okay with the sensitive stuff, play it. It is so good. So good. Hoppers. I don't know when it came out. I think it came out last year. I think I think Hoppers came out in 2025, but it is an excellent movie. It's either on Disney Plus or HBO. Don't quote me on that. It's on one of them. Again, things I'm working on. It's a new podcast. I will definitely, like Silo's Apple TV. I know that because I watch a lot of Apple TV because so far they are 10 for 10 on everything. They just pump out high quality shows and high quality movies. So far, that's what they're doing. Silo gets a 5. Hoppers gets a 4. Definitely watch them. All right, now for one of my favorite sections. News that sounds fake, but it's real. News that sounds fake, but is real. I got 3 articles for you this week. Just going to talk about them real quick. This first one definitely caught my eye. The headline, Darth Vader addresses San Diego City Council. That's right, folks. Darth Vader is back from the grave, and he is in San Diego, live and well. He is addressing the city council, and he went in there and advocated for more cameras. He wants more Big Brother, ironically. Now, I think he was coming from a sarcastic standpoint. That's why he dressed up as Darth Vader, because Darth Vader was part of the Empire, and the Empire wanted to enforce these rules on the Empire, wanted you to follow. I was going to say their madness, but someone would say their order, right? They're very strict, stay within the box order, follow us at all times. If you really want to break down Star Wars, we can in a different episode. But that's what Darth Vader would represent, like Big Brother. Darth Vader, in this case, goes to City Council in San Diego, and when they do the open forum, the open mic, to allow residents to come up, and usually they give you a minute, some places give you 2 minutes to speak freely. And this has become a viral trend. People are going up, speaking freely about schools, about whatever, how they feel in front of school boards, how they feel in front of city councils, about whatever it is. So San Diego is trying to push more cameras, more ticketing cameras, red light cameras, all that kind of stuff. Probably noise cameras, because San Diego has a lot of old people, retired, huge retired community. So you might be doing noise cameras. So people who are too noisy, it censors, it kicks on the camera, starts recording, so they have stuff on camera. This guy goes in and sarcastically advocates for more cameras. Hilarious. Keep an eye out for the San Diego Darth Vader. You could probably go look this up online, Darth Vader, San Diego. It's going to pop up. You can probably watch some videos on YouTube. This guy has to continue doing this. I mean, just imagine. He just walks up and it's just like... City Council, we need more cameras. Thank you. Good night. I mean, I think he made his point. Less cameras, less government. All right. Second article. World's fastest motorized shoe. Look at it. World's fastest motorized shoe hits 70 miles per hour, folks. 70 miles per hour. Dutch TV presenter Klaus van Kroostrom. That's a mouthful. Klaus van Kroostrom drove a giant motorized clog to 70.07 miles per hour. I don't know what that is in kilometers. I think that's about 100. I want to say it's about 112. I'm just going to guess 112 kilometers. This guy drives 70.05 miles per hour in a giant wooden clog. Sets a world record, a Guinness World Record. First off, why? Why do we even have a was there a Guinness World Record for fastest driving shoe before this? Where do people come up? Like, do I just go like draw a line really fast across this bucket and then call them and be like, this is the fastest anyone has written a line across a metal bucket? And they come over here, the guy in a nice suit, nice tie, he pulls out his little paper, starts writing some notes, and he goes, Mr. Kidder, I'm ready when you are. And he has his little stopwatch. And right when I go, he goes, like, I'm doing that faster than he can hit the stopwatch. Do I all of a sudden get a Guinness World Record, and then someone goes through the records, the books, and says, I can do better? Did someone do that with a wooden shoe with a motor in it that you could sit in? Like a giant wooden clog. Someone actually put a giant wooden clog on top of a chassis, like a go-kart chassis with wheels and a motor. And now they're driving it 70 miles an hour. Like, why? I would question it. Did your parents fail you? Like, did you not have the right parenting, or the opposite? Did you have the best parents ever? Did you have the parents that really pushed you and said, Klaus, you can do whatever you want to do when you get older. Klaus. Why do I sound like Trump all of a sudden? Like, Klaus, you can do whatever you want to do. If you want to be an astronaut, you can be an astronaut. You want to be a fireman? You can be a fireman. You want to migrate to the United States and become a rock star? You can do that too, Klaus. We believe in you. And then Klaus is like, Mom, Dad, you know what I want to do when I get older? I want to drive shoes. And the dad's like, I think Klaus misunderstood what we were going for here. Like, really? You woke up one day and said, you know what? You know what I want to do to my go-kart? I want to put a wooden clog on it. I'm going to put a wooden clog on it, and I'm going to set records. Because I feel like I now could take a go-kart, soup the shit out of it, and then make a better, more aerodynamic wooden clog and do better. I could do better than you, Klaus. I don't know. Like, I just feel like you missed something here. Like, this is so weird. Yes, all right. Third article. Here we go. Third article. A woman writes 150 words on one sticky note. On one sticky note. I'm like, do I have a sticky note I can show you guys? 150 words. And then in the article, right, her name is speaking of a mouthful names, her name is Pushpajothi Ravikumar. Pushpajothi Ravikumar. We're just going to call her Push. Listen, Push. She too set a Guinness World Record this recently, right? So Push sets up with the Guinness World Record Committee. It says, I can write really small. So small, in fact. So small. I can put 150 words on a Post-it note, on a sticky note. And then the Guinness World Record Committee goes, oh my God! No! No way! No way! Absolutely not. You know what, Push? You're going to have to prove it. You're going to have to prove it. We'll be right there. They hop on a plane, fly halfway across the world. They arrive. They show up. Same dude in the suit with the tie. He's got his pad and paper, pen. He's got his stopwatch. Not necessary here, but they are going to time her and say, we got places to be. We'll give you 2 hours. It should not take you more than 2 hours to write 150 words. Click, and then there goes Push. Tiny little pen. Little tiny pen, and Push with her tiny pen starts writing words. And not just any words. She went for 3-letter words because they're like, you can't have, because you could definitely fit a bunch of I's and O's and like a bunch of 1-letter, 2-letter words like N-O. They didn't allow that. They only allowed 3-letter words or bigger. So the article said she mostly used 3-letter words, which means at a certain point she couldn't think. I'm just trying to picture her there writing 150 words. She was like, I can't think of any more 3-letter words. And I wonder where she stopped with 3-letter words. Did she do like 93 3-letter words or 97 3-letter words? And it was like, I can't think of any more. Okay, well, I'll do the word. That's 4 letters. And duck, and buck, and tuck, and suck, and a bunch of other ones. Like that. She must have did that. And did she choose words that are skinnier letters? Like, you wouldn't use a lot of W's because W's are pretty wide letters. Like, you would use words that have more I's and more L's because they're skinnier, right? You can put them closer, tighter together. If you got to do these big round things like B's and D's, W's. I was like, what else is a wide? What else is a wide letter? I think, well, W is going to be the widest. And M is another one, right? That's probably equally as wide as a W. But like, you obviously had to make the choice. You had to make the choice for skinnier letters. Did they use a magnifying glass? Did they have a little monocle magnifying glass as they're writing? And I only say this because there used to be a guy down in Santa Monica on the pier. You know where you tip people money and give people money? He would write your name. He had one single grain of rice, and he would use a magnifying glass, and he would write. I'd be like, Christopher, and he would write Christopher across a grain of rice. That's how small this dude was writing. So essentially, that's what she's doing. So did the Guinness World Record guy have to verify and go through and read each word with a magnifying glass? Probably, I would assume so. And did Push have to leave a little bit of space between each word so it didn't get all mushed together? We got to Google this. We have to find. Oh, you know what? I'm going to Google it in this episode. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm going to put it here. If the Post-it exists, I want to see what that Post-it looks like. And I want to put it right here. And if it's not online and I can't see an image of it, then this is just 2 empty hands that look like I'm about to do the Hadouken and like shoot a fireball out of my hand. Just. All right. That is news that sounds fake, which is absolutely 100% real. All right, here we go. We're moving on. We're doing one of our final segments, the bucket pull. I love this section because this is like doing improv, right? As a stand-up comedian, a lot of times we go up on stage and we just rant about stuff, and we just kind of like digging. You're digging for jokes. You're just having fun, and you're just whatever comes to your mind, you rant about it. And if, as you know, we have the bucket. Now, before I start this section, if you have any prompts, any words, any phrases, any articles, anything you want me to put in the bucket, drop it in the comments here on YouTube or hit me up on Instagram at KIDDER Comedy and say, put this in the bucket. Just tell me what you want and I'll add it to the bucket. I'll print it out, put it in here. You can see there's a bunch of stuff in here. But this is where we will put prompts. Now, obviously, if you put something in this week, it doesn't mean it's going to get pulled out next week. But it's going to come up at some point. All right, so here we go. I have something in there that's heavy that's not paper. I think it's a clip or something. But anyways, I'm not going to look in there. All right, here we go. Bucket. Bucket pull. We talk about one thing for a few minutes. Oh, here we go. Speeding cameras. Speeding cameras. Are you for them? Are you against them? How do you feel about speeding cameras? All right, here we go, folks. How do I feel about speeding cameras? No. No. You know why? Because so many times I'll be driving and my truck is smooth and there's no one on the road. It'd be like midnight, 2 a.m, and I'm just cruising, not really paying attention, and that's my fault, but I'll just be driving and I'll look down and I'll be doing 82. 82 is not that fast when the speed limit around my house is 65 on the freeway, and you get on there and you start driving and you don't even notice how fast you're going. And these speeding cameras, so they are putting speeding cameras up around Southern California. They tried this like 20 years ago and it got vetoed out real quick. A lot of people argue, well, you didn't see me do it. If you want, it's like the whole thing with self-checkout, right? Reason why I want a discount, because I'm saving you money. There's someone who's not doing their job. You literally cut people out so that you save money, and now I'm doing it, so I now expect a little bit of a discount. Now, the same thing with the cameras. Like, you want to cut down the police force, you want less sheriffs or CHP, right? CHIPs here in Southern California, California Highway Patrolmen. You want less of them on the road so that you can save money. You can cut the budget back and everything. But you're going to install a camera that's going to catch me on camera and spit a ticket out and get it sent to me in the mail. And now I have to show up to court. This is a money grab is what this is. Not only are you saving money by not hiring the police officer, you're saving money because you're now making money, right? You're not spending money, $90,000, $140,000, $150,000, whatever cops make. You're not spending that, but instead you'll go install a camera, and then that will connect to a system. You'll have to pay someone some big contract money because they got to monitor these hundreds or thousands of cameras. And then when it goes off and says, oh, Chris Kidder went 85 miles an hour in a 65. He went 20 over. Boom. It gets printed and gets sent out automatically to me in the mail. And now I get a summons to go to court, or I can just pay it online. Most people will, and they know that. Most people just pay it online. And so now I owe $400 or $500 or whatever it is. And then you start multiplying that on all the people who go slightly over, and here's the threshold for Southern California. It's 10 miles an hour. So here's the thing. I get it. There's no reason for me to go more than 75 in a 65. It's very dangerous, and there's just no call for it. I get it. Like, you got to hurry up and get to the hospital or something. I get that. But also, you don't want to be dangerous and hurt someone because you're going too fast. So 75 is the threshold. A 10 mile an hour difference is the threshold. If I go 76, boom, I am ticketed. And I don't think that's okay. And so it's a money grab. It's a little annoying. So, I mean, that's my thing. You know, I think that's why the whole Darth Vader showed up in San Diego. San Diego is about 2 hours from here, from where I live. And they're doing the same thing. It's like a whole California thing. They're trying to put cameras in San Francisco, San Diego, and LA. And they're testing them out in certain suburb areas and stuff like that. And so I think that's why this Darth Vader guy showed up in San Diego. It's humorous, but they're putting up cameras. They're trying to increase their funds. They're losing money. We're in a tax negative here in Southern California. I don't know about your state or where you're listening from, but me, I'm against it. I am against it. I'm okay with cameras being up. I'm not, oh, Big Brother's watching. I'm not that guy. I feel like if the government wants something from you, they have something on all of us. They can find us on the internet. They can find us. Like, there's no like being off the grid unless you truly go live off the grid in like Colorado or up in the Sierra Mountains or something. But if you're down here in LA, if you're in New York, if you're in one of these big cities, there's no living off the grid. I'm okay with cameras. I'm okay with cameras at intersections because sometimes someone hits someone and then they blame someone else. And it's good to have the verifiable truth of video footage. It's okay. If there's a crime and someone takes off, someone breaks into your house or starts a fire, I think having cameras to be able to trace them and follow them, I think that's important. I don't think it's like, well, they got away, so they got away with it. No, I don't think that's okay. So I'm okay with cameras. But just to automatically start spitting out tickets to people, like, no. Stop firing police officers and stop trying to circumvent humans for technology and just using technology so that you can make more money. I'm not okay with that. All right. That's our what's in the bucket. So today we had a fantastic episode. If you got this far, thanks for watching. We talked about Darth Vader. We talked about kids getting out of the shower. If you have any recs there, hit me up. How do I get my kids out of the shower faster? What else? Oh, we talked about silo and hoppers. Definitely go watch those. And getting out of a chair. I got to get out of this chair here in a few minutes, and it's not going to feel good. You know why? Because I've been sitting here for over an hour. So when I get up, it's going to be like I can already feel it. Like my back is tight. Like I can already feel it. This is what happens at 47. You sneeze wrong. You fart the wrong way. Your back gets thrown out. Anyways, we had a great episode. Let me know what you think about those. Let me know if you got an air fryer, what you think about that, what you think about decorative pillows. Drop some comments below. If you're watching me on YouTube, leave some comments, show us some love, all that good jazz. If you're listening on Spotify, thank you so much. If you're having fun listening to the podcast, or if you have any recommendations for the podcast, hit me up on Instagram at KIDDER Comedy. Remember, life's already ridiculous. We might as well laugh at it. Love you guys. Ciao.